We're live.
Good.
Launching Audacity. Surely he'll wait long enough for us to finish an episode if he wants. If we're still finishing. And yes, it was all three Bill and Ted's.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Not those notes. I need these notes. Okay. Doing a mic check. I'm still over here from last night. Okay, that's better. Speak for me if you would.
What's up, people?
Okay, mic check looks good.
Yeah, my chick looks very good. Sounds very good. Very swell.
Yes.
Just waiting for people to pop on.
I got two people at least. Although one of those is probably you.
Hi, Miguel. What are you doing? Hi, welcome to the Cellcast. Aren't you supposed to? No, wait a minute. You're not at work. Praying for you, brother. Miguel had a seizure at work.
Ooh, not good.
Bad seizure.
That would be a pain in the butt.
Yeah, so definitely praying for you, brother. Hope you're doing well.
Patootie? Is that the word I'm looking for? I think that's the word I'm
Yeah,
looking
pain
for.
patootie.
Pain in the patootie.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and plug this other thing into here. So that the thing won't make noise all evening.
Yes.
Except way over there. And will confuse the crud out of me at the time comes. All right.
Okay.
Introducing you.
Yeah.
You never think about this until right before we do this.
Right. Same here. Wrong end.
Okay, I think I know what I'm doing for you.
Wrong end, Goober.
I've been called worse. I worked at Walmart. I've been called a lot worse.
Yeah.
Here,
Same here.
let me get my checkbook out of the way. It's been sitting there since I paid rent.
Ah. Quit looking at my notes.
I'm just curious how you got it
Organized.
organized. That's all I was looking at.
Okay, then. By the way, Miguel, how are you feeling right now? Oh. All right. So let's get everything lined up.
Mm-hmm.
Checking this, checking this.
There. There. I am ready.
All right. Let me just give a notification to. Well, obviously it's going to be. Hold on. That's what I need to do. I need to go to my own page.
So you see all three posts when I post. Cool.
Interesting.
That's good to know.
Good deal.
Okay, we're up to 4 people. So once you get your little notification done, we need to get started.
Got it.
Unlike normal, we are on a little bit of a timetable tonight.
There we are. That's true.
Nope, now we're down to 3. And now we're back to 4.
All right.
All right.
leaving it be.
Works for me. All right. Let's get started on this thing.
Right.
Hitting record. I guess I didn't do my thing.
No, you didn't.
Starting in. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Cellcast. Joining me is a man who just got back from a special day at Lester's Possum Park, Jacob.
Can we go home already? You're ruining my life, Dad.
I never said I was your father.
That'd be scary.
That would be very scary, and it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense,
Either.
considering I'm younger than you are.
That is your either way. Why, thank you. I'd like to introduce our co-host, a man who. Why in the world do you listen to Pete?
He had a lot of good points, although he hangs out with Maleficent all the time, so I really should know better.
Of course.
In Kingdom Hearts, anyway.
Yeah. Either way.
How are you doing tonight,
Man,
Jacob?
I'm doing very well. It's been an interesting week. Obviously, we had to reschedule because
Somebody was tired.
yes, I was tired. Now let me explain why I was tired. So
Work?
No, it wasn't work.
Oh,
It was work. I was a little bit tired. 'cause-
COVID?
Nope, no COVID.
Okay, good.
No COVID. It was a carb coma.
Car coma?
Carb coma.
Carb coma. You didn't have enough carbs.
I had way too many carbs.
Oh, okay. See, I'm just guessing the whole thing wrong tonight.
So, be like, I bought food from an amazing restaurant where we live. If you're ever in the Tyler, Jacksonville, East Texas area, go to Commerce Street Brew House. Amazing food. Just giving them a shout out here. So I bought something that they their house fries with like all the fixings on it was amazing.
Right.
I eat half of it and then I'm just like, oh, I feel great. Now I'm just drowsy. So I was dead to the world, had to reschedule, and then probably 45 minutes be like, okay, I feel better.
Of course.
It was just so bizarre.
Ironically, you could have texted and said, hey, I feel better now. And I would have said, get over here and let's do this thing.
Yeah.
I was ready.
Yes. So other than that, I've been pretty good. Minus just very long days at work
Right.
and sometimes frustrating days, like some people know.
I wouldn't know anything about that in the middle of January when all the machinery seems to be breaking down.
Of course.
What's new?
Yeah, Pussycat. Whoa,
Whoa, whoa. Wrong song. It was high hopes. He's got high hopes. Okay, moving on.
How are you been?
Crazy.
Is that beyond normal?
Hard to tell. What? Just going ahead and moving along because I really don't have much to talk about in my part of the banter. What have you been watching?
All right.
Since what was that? Kim Possible?
Kim Possible. All I can say with this particular one I watched, Flagnar.
Flagnar. Oh yes.
Yeah, as also in I completed Gravity Falls.
I like how you pointed to Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I was also watching that too. I was pointing in that direction, not that
Right.
direction. But either way, I finally finished what is it, 2 seasons?
2 seasons.
Yeah, 2 seasons.
Well,
And
really, if you were to count them, all the seasons were as long as season 1, it would be 3 seasons. But who cares?
so I finally got around to finally finishing the season, and oh my gosh, like you have seen, not one to go into spoilers, just kind of my general thoughts. Season 1 is your mystery monster of the week, kind of, and then you get into season 2 where in season 1 it starts to hinting at things, definitely with what's his name, Little
Gideon.
Little Gideon is trying to take over Gravity Falls.
Not to mention Bill Cipher.
Yeah, Bill Cipher does make an appearance in season 1, which you have no idea really who he is.
Right.
And so you get the full gravity, pun intended,
Well,
of what's really going on.
I mean, the fact that Bill Cipher is technically in the opening sequence of every episode.
that is true, but he's
for one frame.
yeah, that is true. The creators of the show were real, like symbolism and
Oh, yeah.
graphs and everything were just so. If you knew what you were looking for, you could probably figure out what's going to happen.
So a couple of hints for those who aren't aware.
Yeah.
At the end of every episode in the credits, there is a code.
Mm-hmm.
This just looks like random letters.
Yeah.
But it can be figured out. And your hint as to how to figure it out is actually in the opening sequence.
Okay.
There is when the Gravity Falls logo is on screen, the title card, you can hear what sounds like whispers.
Mm-hmm.
That is actually backmasking.
Really?
Yeah. And instead of saying, some horrible thing that would make Christians in the 80s hate rock music, it is actually saying, at least on the first one, I don't remember what the first one is, but it tells you, here's a hint as to how to decode the message.
Oh, okay.
There's one for the first 6 episodes, another one for the second one, the second season. The code is the thing is the same, but you have to watch for a cipher, pun intended, somewhere in the episode to figure out how to actually decipher the code at the end. And most of the time, it doesn't really lead to anything.
Yeah.
But there is one near the end, right before a certain something happens, where the code is not what he seems.
Mm-hmm.
I think you know which episode I'm talking about.
I think so.
Because it's right before the episode, not what he seems.
Yeah. That was a good reveal. And it's like, oh
yeah,
because it'd be like, that character is something's fishy about him.
Oh yeah.
And then you get that episode, and it's like, oh my gosh, revelation. Oh my gosh.
We'll need to talk more about that off screen when we are not gonna have to worry about spoiling things for people.
So either way, if you get the chance, it's on Disney Plus right now. Go check out Gravity Falls. It's amazing. Also, I got the chance to start rewatching Neon Genesis Evangelion, the original dub.
The original English dub.
The original
not
English,
the Japanese dub.
Yeah, dub, English dub.
Technically, the Japanese language version is a dub also, as it's dubbed audio. I'm being pedantic. Move
I know
on.
You are. I really enjoyed the series when I was younger. Watching it now, it's like, okay, you see its flaws a little bit here and there, definitely with the dub. But I still
it was an ADV dub.
Yeah, it is an ATV
all-terrain vehicle.
Yeah, apparently.
The dub was done on the back of an ATV.
Yeah,
that would explain a lot. Actually, not for this show. For many other shows, they did.
Yes. But either way, the current what you're seeing there is actually the Platinum Edition I bought at Walmart several years ago. Now this one you're probably going to spend like $300 to get.
Oh yeah,
and hopefully.
But Shout Factory is re-releasing the anime, but we don't know which dub it's shipping with.
Yeah.
My assumption is, the safest assumption, is it's the Netflix dub.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll be lucky and they'll be nice and add a second dub on there.
Yeah.
It's not like Gainax, who doesn't actually exist anymore,
yeah,
doesn't own the rights to the both dubs at this point.
Yeah,
because of the way that works.
Yeah. And also, speaking of Evangelion, apparently the 3.0 plus 1.0 is coming out this year.
Stupid naming scheme.
I know. I don't care. I still want to watch it. I'm gonna buy it and then watch it and be like, okay, that was interesting.
You will not make sense of these titles.
That is true. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Just like whenever the new box comes out from Shout Factory.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I know we watched a little bit of
another movie that we'll be recording later tonight.
Yes, we did.
Over on the Retro Rewind podcast.
Yeah, Retro Rewind podcast. That's really hard to say if you're trying to keep a straight face.
Oh yes.
Kung Fu Hustle.
Yes.
That was a very fun, very awkward, very much Japanese kung fu movie.
Chinese.
Apologies.
Hong
Kong. Okay, Chinese. My apologies. Kind of movie that's very over exaggerated in every aspect of it, but it's so much fun to watch. Go check that movie out. I don't know where you can get it. You can stream it anywhere.
It's on Netflix.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
It is on Netflix.
So go check it out on Netflix.
It's from Sony Classics, and they do a pretty good job of keeping the rights to everything and making
Excellent.
sure you can get to it.
Excellent.
And you can go buy the Blu-ray, which I did.
Excellent. All right, good deal. So yeah, that is all I've been watching, minus like a few things over at Chase's house. I think we watched Girls and Panzers.
Not this last week.
No, that's right, it wasn't. What did we watch?
Nothing. By the time we got started,
that's right. He kicked
and you
us
were
out.
still late, he kicked us out.
Yeah, that's
By
true.
the time we got done, because it was late, because somebody can't keep asking questions.
That's true. I wonder who that is.
Yes,
Love you, Jay.
we do. Yes.
That is all I've been watching. So what have you been watching?
Much of the same.
Yeah.
So
So you were watching Evangelion as
no,
well.
I wasn't watching Evangelion. I have been somewhat addicted is the wrong word. I have been partaking sounds worse.
Obsessed.
I've been watching, let's say.
Oh, okay.
I've been watching a Twitch channel
Oh, okay.
of the streamer is Sarah Key.
Okay.
I've been watching her playthrough of Persona 4 Golden.
Oh, okay.
So that's been interesting. Also, I have been watching Star Trek Discovery now that I got done with Mandalorian.
Okay.
That's a show.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I'm just hoping it gets better as the season goes on. Because
So-
right now I'm sitting there going, really? Really? This is where we're going with this. Okay. There's some interesting things, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping it gets better.
Ah.
What else have I been watching? I guess that's really all I have been watching. I have been playing Spider-Man on PS4. I beat that game,
Good.
and now I started on the DLC,
Ah.
The City That Never Sleeps.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely New York.
Oh yeah, I'm about halfway through the second chapter, so
Uh,
the hard part is Screwball's challenges.
hmm.
Do you know the character Screwball?
No, I
She's
don't.
a relatively recent villain for Spider-Man,
No, I don't.
sometime in the last 10 years.
Okay.
She's a streamer who
okay.
streams crimes.
Oh, interesting.
So you kind of wonder how she doesn't get
So
caught because
so
she films and broadcasts all her evidence that
So-
she's committing the crimes.
Oh, okay. So she's a criminal nightcrawler.
Except she broadcasts everything,
Yeah.
which is weird.
Yeah.
I
Dumb
think,
strategy.
I mean, at least for the game, the way it works
Yeah.
is she's streaming Spider-Man beating up her thugs
Yeah.
for clicks, which
Yeah.
is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
What the missions themselves are very similar to the main game's Taskmaster
Yeah.
missions, which was just combat challenges.
Yeah.
The difference here is on top of your combat challenges, she has these things called photo bombs, where you have to do the whatever the challenge is in the certain square so that it triggers this little scene. So you can this little quick time event to press a button so you can take a picture of what you're doing, and that gets you extra points.
Okay.
That makes it harder than it sounds,
All right.
because sometimes you're way over on this corner of the map. Like I was just doing a stealth mission the other day, and I'm finally getting to the point where I can take this guy out. He's not seen by anybody. He is safe to take out. She throws the photobomb flag up, and it's on the other side of the stinking map. It's like, I need the extra points. I'm going over there.
All right. Good deal.
So yeah, that's what I've been.
All
playing.
right.
What do we got in the news, if anything?
We do have a little bit. Now let me get into my notes.
First mark of the evening.
Yep. All right. So we got the news. All right. So G Kids has released Studio Ghibli's high announced first ever CG Airwig and The Witch to North American theaters and US, streaming early in February, followed by a home release in the spring. The movie will be released February 3rd, 2021,
Mm-hmm.
both in Japanese subtitles and English dub.
Good. Glad they
Um,
got that finished.
Yeah, it'll be in partnership with longtime partner Fathom Entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be released starting February on February 5th. It'll be available on HBO Max.
Okay. When is it in theaters?
Uh,
You said it, but I don't remember it.
yeah, it'll be in February 3rd.
February 3rd.
Okay,
Okay.
so we might want to.
We'll think about it.
Yeah, might do a reaction to that.
I might
maybe.
go want to watch it anyway, whether we do it or not.
Either way. So
And how often do we get a new Ghibli movie?
not that often. Every couple of years.
Well, I mean, this is like their first thing since like in like 5 or 6 years, I think.
Okay.
I could be wrong on that number. Don't quote me.
Okay. So apparently this series that is apparently a very popular series on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Charming.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I never have either. But according to information on where I get my sources, animationmagazine.com,
Mm-hmm.
I can go check them out there, where I'll get most of my sources. Apparently they are doing a new movie, which is apparently 3 familiar fairy tale princes find themselves engaged the same prince in the news feature of Charming.
Oh.
I don't know if I'm not sure if it's a TV series because they didn't really give me that information. So if any of you know out there what Charming is on Netflix, please let us know down below.
Sounds like it ought to be a kid-friendly version of Charmed.
Not really, because it's
Sounds like it should be with that
Yeah.
kind of name.
Yeah, but it's more like fairy tales, and you get you get
You get a boyfriend, and you get a boyfriend. Everybody gets a boyfriend.
Can we get girlfriends? Maybe.
You don't understand how Oprah works.
Apparently,
That was the worst joke I've ever made.
that was bad. Either way, so that's all I had for news.
Alrighty. Well, then let's go ahead and jump into our spoiler-free review of the movie, A Goofy Movie.
Yuck.
I first saw this movie back in 1995, 94, 95, around the time it came out, but I didn't get to see it in theaters.
Yeah.
I had to wait for home video, but I did own, this was like the second compact disc soundtrack I ever owned. Kind of putting this in perspective.
Yeah, okay.
I remember enjoying this movie immensely. This is not one I ever got to wear out because it was not a bootleg.
Okay.
Like so many other movies from that era are.
Hey, sometimes our grandparents just so lovingly so much they just don't.
It was past that point if you want to get right down to it.
Yeah.
But I did know this was one I rented from the store a couple times.
Okay.
From the movie store. So yeah, I watched it a bunch of times. I remember enjoying this movie. It's just one of the. Admittedly, I watched Goof Troop growing up because I was of the age.
Yeah.
I can't tell you I remember much of Goof Troop because I can't tell you I was very much. Well, it wasn't Darkwing Duck. Let's be honest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's definitely not.
If there's a problem with it, that's what it is.
I gotcha.
But I remember thinking, they're doing a Goof Troop movie. That could be interesting. I wonder why they're just calling it a Goofy movie and not just Goof Troop the movie.
Right.
I mean, they did this with DuckTales. I'd assume they'd follow suit. But I remember first time I watched it and just falling in love with it. And of course, as a kid, I really related with Max to some degree. Now, not so much.
Yeah.
Despite the fact I don't have a kid, I relate more with Goofy. But anyway, I mean, it's just a fun movie. If you have never watched a Goofy movie, you owe it to yourself to go on Disney Plus right now and go watch it. It is because that's pretty much the only place you're going to find it.
Yeah.
Unless you're in Disney Movie Club.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you want to pay a bunch of extra money on Amazon.
Yeah.
A bunch of extra money. A Goofy movie is a very fun movie and you should go watch it. Jacob.
This is my first time actually watching the film.
I still can't believe that.
Yeah. Well, watching Goof Troop, Goof Troop was not my favorite. Darkwing Duck was.
Of course.
Or Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
And if you want to know my feelings about Darkwing Duck, just look on my wall here.
Yeah, exactly. Or Tailspin.
Oh, yes.
Or DuckTales, not so much, but Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Well, DuckTales always had the best theme song.
That is true. That is so true. So I got to watch it the other week or early this week, and I enjoyed it tremendously. there was a lot of the movie that just had just this charm
Mhm.
and about about a father-son's relationship
Yeah.
and being a teenager, definitely in the 90s. And man, this movie dates itself so much.
Yeah, but in a strange way, as bad as it dates itself,
Yeah.
it kind of hits that threshold, especially when you're looking back on it, that it hits that timelessness
Yeah.
in a way.
Agreed.
Much better than Wonder Woman 84 did.
Either way, you can go check out our review on that.
On Movie of the Week podcast.
Yes. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a great movie. It has a lot of heart. I do have some problems with the film.
Of course.
Yeah.
No movie's perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Except for maybe Your Name.
You can
We've done that. Go listen.
Go listen to that review. That was pretty good. I finally got that on Blu-ray. Finally got it.
I need to get my copy back from Chase, who's never going to watch it at this rate.
Come on, Chase. On that, it's a great movie. Thoroughly enjoy it. If you want to go buy it, go join Disney Movie Club. It's really cheap right now.
Mhm.
And yeah, so go check it out, or you can go watch it on Disney Plus. It's really good.
Agreed. So yeah, so join us on the other side of the bumper, and we will get into spoiling this thing.
Do it.
Hey Jacob, look, it's the Leaning Tower of Cheesa. I did that for the audio's sake. There's nothing video for you to look at.
I was
like, quoting the movie.
Oh, okay, I got you. Oh, that was just gross.
Well, it is Pauly Shore. What do you expect?
That is true.
Ugh. Okay, that's saving. That's saved.
Region free.
And recording again.
All right, good deal. I'm just looking at movies to, buy.
Right.
Yeah, because a certain movie we'll be reviewing next time. I don't
get here in
have
time.
Huh?
It's on Disney Plus, though.
That's true.
Of course, you can't watch that on your TV because you still don't have internet.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
You've been working on it for 2 years.
That is true.
Possibly longer.
Yeah, 3 years actually.
All right.
So
I'm
yeah,
just saying I didn't have that hard a time getting internet
yeah.
when I moved in.
I
know. And there's more to it than just getting in there.
There's more than
doing
meets
it.
the eye.
I'm aware of this. So we'll just move on.
Yeah.
Coming back in. If I can hit the buttons. Following is a spoiler-filled review for the movie A Goofy Movie. Listener discretion is advised. Helps when you have your notes up.
Yes, it does.
Okay. A Goofy Movie was directed by Kevin Lima, who also directed Tarzan and Enchanted. It was written by Jim Magon, who wrote for Goof Troop and DuckTales. Chris Matheson, who wrote all 3 Bill and Ted movies. And Brian Pimentel, who wrote Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast. The cast includes Bill Farmer as Goof. Yeah. Cast includes Bill Farmer as George G. Goofy Goof. You didn't know that was his full name, did you?
No, I didn't. That's impressive.
Yes, I had to look that up. He also played Yosemite Sam and Sylvester in Space Jam. Jason Marsden, who played Maximilian Goof. He was Thackeray Binks in Hocus Pocus, and he played Haku in Spirited Away.
Wait a minute. Who?
Jason Marsden.
Oh, okay.
Jim Cummings played Pete.
Okay.
He's also the voice of Winnie the Pooh and Tigger in Winnie the Pooh. And of course, Darkwing Duck.
Yes.
Kelly Martin plays Roxanne. And she played Molly Tasmanian Devil in Tasmania. And Daphne Blake in A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. No reaction to A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. Are you sure you're feeling all right?
Yeah, I'm fairly certain. Continue. Great movie. Great show, by the way.
Rob Paulson played PJ. He is, of course, known for playing Yakko Warner and Pinky in Animaniacs. And he also played Carl in Jimmy Neutron. Wallace Shawn played Principal Mazer.
Hmm.
He was Vicini in The Princess Bride and Rex in Toy Story. Jenny Von Oy played Stacy, and she played a character named Six Lemure in Blossom.
Hmm.
Frank Welker, our good friend,
Yes.
played Bigfoot. How surprised are you at that?
No, not.
He is, of course, Scooby-Doo and Fred in Scooby-Doo, The Sword and the Scoob, apparently a new
It's
Scooby-Doo movie
it's a
coming
new
out.
movie.
Kevin Lima has a cameo as Lester. He was our director.
Mhm.
Florence Stanley played the waitress. She played Mrs. Packard in Atlantis: The Lost Empire. Joanne Worley played Miss Maples, and she was the wardrobe in Beauty and the Beast. Brittany Alice Smith played Photo Studio Girl, and she played a character named Zoe Garrick in a movie called Pinocchio's Revenge. I just love some of these Z movies that end up on people's IMDb lists.
Yeah.
Robin Richards played Lester's Grinning Girl.
Okay.
The little weird grinning girl sitting next to Max throughout that scene.
Yeah.
She played a character named Maxie Jones in General Hospital, and that was about it. Julie Brown played Lisa. She played a character named Paula Norwood in The Middle. Clee Bragger played a tourist kid, and he played a character named Digger Sam in Recess. Joey Lawrence played Chad, and he was Oliver in Oliver and Company.
Ah, okay. Good movie.
The late Pat Buttram, in his final appearance on his final film,
Yes.
was the Possum Park MC. He is, of course, known for playing the Sheriff of Nottingham in Robin Hood and Mr. Haney in Green Acres. Wayne Allwine played Mickey Mouse. He's also played Ludwig von Drake before.
Okay.
Pauly Shore played Bobby Zimmerowski. He is, of course, known for playing Bud McIntosh in Biodome, which is the only Pauly Shore movie I recognize the name of.
Oh, okay.
Tevin Campbell played Powerline. He's, of course, a musician, but he also played a character named Little T in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, okay.
And Aaron Lohr was the singing voice of Max Goof, and he played a character named Mush in Newsies, the original Newsies, not the new one.
Okay.
Our Kingdom Hearts connections for this episode, I'm going to go through these very quickly. Bill Farmer is Goofy. Wayne Allwine is Mickey Mouse. Jim Cummings is Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. Frank Welker played Experiment 221 Sparky in Birth by Sleep. Rob Paulson was Jacques and the Grand Duke in Dream Drop. No, that's Birth by Sleep. Yeah, they're both Birth by Sleep. Sorry. Brain freeze. Corey Burton was an additional voice in here. He is also the voice in Kingdom Hearts of Yensid, Ansem the Wise, Zeus, Dale, Claude Frollo, Grumpy, the Master Control Program, Santa Claus, Sark, Shan Yu, the Peddler, Captain Hook, Jetsam, Flotsam, Diz, Captain Hook, the White Rabbit, and the Doorknob in Kingdom Hearts.
Wow.
Pat Carroll played an additional voice here, and of course, she is very well known for being the voice of Ursula. Josh Keaton was a voice during the song After Today. He played young Hercules.
Okay.
Joanne Worley was, of course, the wardrobe in Kingdom Hearts. Wallace Shawn, of course, reprised his role as Rex. Randy Crenshaw, who was a performer in Lester's Possum Park in this movie, did additional voices.
Okay.
Now, I just want to point out that the role he must have played with additional voices in Kingdom Hearts must be really small if it go to so much trouble in all these other characters. But yeah, that is the end of what I got in the cast. What do we got in info and stuff?
All right, so info and stuff. You can watch this movie right now on Disney Plus, like we said before. It has a 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb. IMDb, thank you. It has a 58% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 70% score for audience score. Production, and I'm going to get this right the first time.
We'll see.
Walt Disney Company, Walt Disney Movie Movie Tune, and Walt Disney Television Animation.
Mhm.
Distribution by Buena Vista Picture Distribution. It was original release date. Its world premiere was actually April 5th, 1995 at the AMC Pleasure Island at Walt Disney World Resort.
Okay.
On its premiere was on April 7th, 1995.
Hmm.
The movie was originally slated to be released on November 1994, but production was scaled back and was pushed back until 1995 when The Lion King actually filled its absent spot.
Hmm.
Let's see.
That was another CD I had at that age.
Yes, that's a very good CD.
Hmm.
Let's see. The Goofy movie was originally there. I just said that, didn't I?
Yes.
I did. Oh yeah. Okay. I misplaced my place. Go figure. All right. Box office. Its budget was an estimated $18,000.
18,000?
18 million. Sorry,
Okay.
18 million. I detracted a few.
I understand.
numbers.
I understand. That's why I was double checking.
Its first weekend, US wise, was $6.1 million on April 9th of that year. Its US gross was $35.3 million. Its domestic take was the same.
Okay.
So it did fairly well. I don't know if it did, because originally it was going to be a movie straight to
video.
Yeah, no, it was going to be just a TV special. It was going to be a TV special originally, but they were pitching ideas,
Mhm.
trying to figure out what they wanted to do, and they just came up with, because they were trying to figure out how to get Goofy back on screen, back in the big screen.
Yeah.
And it's okay. We have Goof Troop. Why don't we just make a movie about it and make it a Goofy movie?
Yeah.
And it worked.
It worked tremendously well, in my opinion.
Yes. Home release. It was first released on VHS. For those of you who are younger, that was something. There was a little square little thing that went into a very large box.
I need to get some of my VHSs out so when we do this, I can just hold it up. This is a videotape.
All right, so it was originally released by obviously Walt Disney Home Video on September 6th, 1995.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Let's say that. When you had Jurassic Park came out in 1994, it took a year
Yeah.
for that VHS to come out. And now you have almost like direct to,
Almost. Yeah.
almost direct to VHS. And it was re-released in June 20th, 2020, or 2000. I'm sorry, 2020.
2020 or 2000?
2000. I'm sorry, 2000. Along with a DVD version as part of the Walt Disney Gold Classic Collection series.
Mm-hmm.
It was finally released on Blu-ray as part of the Disney Movie Club exclusive, alongside an extremely goofy movie on April 23rd, 2019. So for a movie that has been held as a classic, almost an iconic film,
I'm surprised it's not gotten a full-blown Blu-ray release instead of just the Disney Movie Club one.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. There again, very grateful that Disney Movie Club did release this.
Yes.
And yeah, so if you're interested, Disney Movie Club is a way to go if you're a big Disney fan.
Mm-hmm.
That is all I have in the news.
All right, getting into the summary. Goofy is the single father of his 14-year-old son, Max Goof, although the two have a tense relationship. On the last day of school before summer vacation, Max and his best friends, PJ and Robert Bobby Zemersky, hijack the auditorium in the middle of Principal Mazur's speech, creating a small concert where Max performs while dressed as the pop singer Powerline. The performance succeeds in making Max a school celebrity and impressing his love interest, Roxanne. But he, PJ, and Bobby are sent to Mazur's office. While waiting outside of the office, Roxanne speaks with Max and agrees to go with him to a party where Powerline's concert will be viewed live on television. However, Mazer calls Goofy and forewarns him that Max's behavior may result in him facing capital punishment. That's a really nice way to say the electric chair.
Pretty much.
Oblivious to Max's plans with Roxanne, Goofy decides to take Max on a fishing trip to Lake Destiny, Idaho, following a cross-country map route he and his father took years ago. Before they leave town, Max manages to stop by Roxanne's house to call off their date, but when the heartbroken Roxanne mentions going with someone else, Max panics and instead fabricates a story about his father knowing Powerline, telling him he will be on stage at the concert. Despite his son's objections, Goofy plans his own trip, and initially disastrous results. Max angrily hurts his father's feelings after Goofy inadvertently humiliates Max at an opossum-based theme park. Later, Pete and PJ happen to meet up with them while camping by a lake. While PJ informs Max of how all their peers at home anticipate seeing him on stage at the Powerline concert, Pete advises Goofy to keep Max under control. Goofy takes his son fishing and shows him the perfect cast fishing technique, accidentally luring Bigfoot to their camp.
Oh,
Pete and PJ flee, leaving Goofy and Max to spend the night with Bigfoot. At night, while Goofy sleeps, Max alters the map's route to Los Angeles, where the concert is taking place. The next morning, Goofy decides to make Max the navigator of the trip. The two go to different locations that satisfy both of them, and eventually they stop by a motel where they meet up with Pete and PJ again. When Pete overhears a conversation between the boys, he tells Goofy that Max has tricked him into traveling to Los Angeles. The next day, Goofy and Max come to a junction, one leading to Idaho, the other way leading to California. Max chooses the route to California, making Goofy stop the car at the Grand Canyon and storm off in anger. With the brake loose, the car drives off on its own. Goofy and Max chase after it and end up in a river. After a heated argument, Goofy solemnly declares that no matter how old Max gets, he will always be his son, and the two finally reconcile with each other. After learning of Max's promise to Roxanne, Goofy decides to take him to the concert in Los Angeles. The two nearly plummet to their deaths, though, down a waterfall, but Max was able to save Goofy using the perfect cast technique.
Yes.
Goofy and Max make it to the concert, and while attempting to sneak backstage, they end up on stage and dance with Powerline, watched by Pete, PJ, and Roxanne on separate televisions. Well, of course, they're on separate sides of the country. I just lost my spot. Okay. Goofy and Max later return to Roxanne's house in their damaged car. Max tells the truth to Roxanne, though he accepts it and admits she always had feelings for him ever since the first time she ever heard him laugh. Yep. Thus, a relationship starts between them. Goofy's car suddenly explodes because of damage it had sustained, ejecting Goofy in the process, who then falls through the porch roof of Roxanne's house, and Max proceeds to introduce him to Roxanne.
I do have to say, I just say one or two things for that.
Okay.
Okay. So the principal is inconceivable. when I realized, oh my gosh, it's that actor.
Yes.
Oh
it is.
yes.
And he even has a line in After Today.
Yes.
And it is him singing it. Or
Oh,
saying it anyway.
Saying it. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious.
Some early version of what do you call that? Auto-tune.
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 Okay. So,
Anyway.
the other thing is, like, when the car finally explodes, that shocked me. I was like, whoa, okay. Okay, is Goofy fine? Goofy's gonna be fine because he's
Goofy.
He's Goofy. And I was like, oh my, that literally shocked me.
I mean,
whoa.
I mean, though he seems intoxicated, he's just highly animated. Anyway,
yeah,
I'm going to go ahead and jump in here with my first like.
Geek out.
The music.
Okay.
Specifically the songs, though the score also.
Yes.
If you can wear a CD out, I did. With this one, because I mean, literally I plugged that movie in, I think Saturday last week, and within seconds I was singing along with every song, because of course I still remember it, every single song for the past 25 years. Yeah. So I'm just going to go through these songs right quick.
Go for it.
It's going from what I consider the worst song to the best song. So of course I'm starting off with Lester's Possum Park.
Oh gosh, that
which I am convinced, you cannot tell me otherwise, that this is not Disney making fun of itself.
Pretty much.
Because you can't tell me that Lester's Possum Park, a rodent park, I might add,
Yeah.
that animatronic show is not somewhat based off the Country Bears.
Possibly.
That's just the theory. I have no idea if that was intentional, but it sure looks like it.
Mhm.
Plus, it's malfunctioning,
Yes.
which I've heard happens,
happens,
especially in
well,
the 90s.
yeah, it did a lot.
And of course, you do get Mr. Haney's Pat Bertram's last role in that
Yes.
scene, which I actually do like him as an actor.
Yeah.
Going up from there, the next song on my list would be Stand Out,
Mhm.
the first of the two Powerline songs.
Oh yeah,
which
that was catchy.
that is very catchy. The only reason I don't have it rated any higher is because all the other songs are so much better
True.
than this one. That was a fun one. The next one I'm going to throw in there is After Today, only because this song confused me as a child, because I was watching and thinking, okay, he's getting to school. Is this him going through the whole school day? But he was supposed to be waiting for Pete at the beginning for that thing. He's supposed to be there early. I'm confused, but I do like the song, except you can't listen to it without thinking, but without knowing, okay, here's where Max was back on screen again while somebody else is talking about him.
Yeah.
Plus, you do get the Star Trek guys.
Oh yeah, you do.
In
You
that
do.
one. That's a fun.
Yes.
One's fun. I'm going to throw in Eye to Eye next, which is the other Powerline song.
Yeah.
Which is just a fun one.
Agreed.
Next, I'm going to throw in there The Open Road.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That is one of my favorite songs. Best part of that, I don't know if you noticed it. As they're getting near the end, there's a guy on the left-hand screen. All you can see of the car is the back end, but the trunk's open. This guy's in the trunk with concrete around his feet.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, and I'd never noticed that before this viewing. I'm going, oh, that's funny, but it's also morbid. How did they let that in here? And of course, my favorite song, and this is because it actually brings a tear to my eye, makes the the throat kind of get tight when you're listening to it, and that is Nobody Else But You.
Okay. Remind me where that's at.
That's the song Goofy and Max duet to, on top of the car.
Oh yeah.
As they are reconciling.
Yes.
And talking about how, well, your jokes are prehistoric.
Yeah.
But Max's values may be askew. Gesundheit. Thanks.
Yeah.
And coming back together and becoming the best, father and son best friends that they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that one, I think, just because, we've all, let's face it.
Yeah.
Both of us have dads.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We both know how close that relationship is, despite the fact our dads probably drive us crazy.
Probably.
But at the same time, we don't want to lose them.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that song always brings a tightness to the throat.
I got you. Yeah,
Kind of that manly tear sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, it's not tears, it's
there's something in my eye. There's something in my eye. That's all it is.
Yeah.
I'm not crying. I just got something in my eye.
Yeah.
But yeah, that song always brings back memories. I'm just saying. But the thing is, all of these songs are good. All of the background music throughout here, this movie is good. There's not a song, I think, in this entire movie, either in the score or in the musical parts, that I don't like to some degree. Although Lester's Possum Park is always one I tend to skip when it comes up on the iPod, or the iPhone now, because it's just weird.
Yeah, it's banjo galore.
Except I do know all the words to it.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not going to sing it.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my number one, is the music in this one. What's your number one?
My number one, if I can get back in my notes, because this thing has a short span, which you need to work on that. Okay, so my number one is actually the opening sequence nightmare scene.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! With
I am
Max,
so glad
Max
I did
and
not.
Roxanne.
I am so glad I didn't warn you about any of this movie.
No, it was. Thank you. That was a very pleasant surprise to watch. I'm like, oh, like incredibly well like photography wise, shot very well, execution wise, animation wise. Be like how they're able to use and stretch these characters so well, and the perspective and forced perspective was amazing. The fact to be like it's Max longing over Roxanne,
Yeah.
and which all I think is the what's that movie called? It's got the famous song Roxanne.
I don't know.
Yeah, either way. If you know it,
Admittedly, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Moulin Rouge. That's it. Moulin Rouge. Great movie. You haven't seen it. Really good movie. Other than that, be like, it's great. The fact that it's Max pining over Roxanne, and it's all these amazing things until he laughs.
Yes.
And then you get that pulls back in shock, and
you get that shot where they're getting ready to kiss,
and
you're seeing it from Max's point of view as she leans in, she opens her eyes, and she backs up. This goes, "Boy, what's wrong?" And you get these big 2 buck teeth thrown out of his head. And he slowly has this nightmarish transformation into Goofy. And you're going, I know what he's talking about here.
Yeah. he's afraid he's going to turn into his dad.
Yeah. And because his dad is, let's face it, there is a reason the what do you call it? The catchphrase?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yup.
No, the catchphrase for the movie.
Oh.
Is it's hard to be cool when your dad's goofy.
Yeah.
Because that's so
that is so true. And the fact to be like Roxanne backs up in the sky, like he does the yuck.
Yeah.
And it's just more like,
and it's like
he just morphs into Goofy.
Right.
It's just like that terrifying realization. Oh my gosh, I'm becoming my dad.
Well, the scariest part of that whole sequence is after he's fully transformed, he's trying to hold back the laughter, and he does the traditional Goofy or have you do it.
Yeah,
I can't do it very well. And it's like enough. That's it's Goofy, of course. Yeah. I mean, that's up to this point. That's been a funny line. You successfully made that horror.
Yeah,
hearing that come out, because oh my goodness, that scared me as a kid.
Yeah, that was so good. That was such an incredible scene. But so yeah, my number one is actually that the dream nightmare opening nightmare sequence. It was so well done. And then you have Max being a goofy, awkward teenager.
Yes.
Yeah. But either way, that's my number one. What's your number one?
My number two.
My
number two is actually Roxanne.
Okay.
Here's the thing about Roxanne. She is an original character created for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
They have thankfully kept her in different times when it's made sense to bring for Max to have his girlfriend with him. And they do bring Roxanne back in almost every instance. But what I did not notice until this time, because there's a part of me that when I watched it was she doesn't notice Max until the concert, which is the entire reason Max does that concert, not the concert at the end, the one at the assembly.
Yeah, which was really good.
But here's the thing. In her 2 previous scenes prior to that concert, you can tell she's already in love with the goober.
Oh, yeah.
From the beginning. And it's Max who doesn't realize that he's got her on the hook. He doesn't have to do much.
Yeah, like
just be friendly.
Yeah, like Roxanne says to Barry and be like, I'll head over heels for you because your laugh.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that terrifies him.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, I'm be like my dad. No one likes my dad. And be like, I don't want to be like him, but the girl who's got the crush on me likes my laugh. Which is always the weird thing is like girls, ladies, what have you, like when you're in your teenage years, you're in 20s, girls more often than not be like something about you necessarily you don't like about yourself.
Yeah.
They find a charm in your goofiness, your oddness.
But anyway, the fact, because here's the thing, in almost any, and this is where I'm actually assuming the Bill and Ted writer got involved.
Okay.
It would have been incredibly easy, and I know I've seen this kind of thing happen in other movies.
Yeah.
Where, you don't even show the girlfriend until the scene where the guy does the thing to impress her.
Yeah.
They actually go ahead and show her off, and actually show her already kind of crushing on Max, and Max not being able to recognize it. In the other one, she would not have even known Max existed until that scene.
That is true.
And I appreciate that's like, okay, yeah, this is a relationship that's already coming together.
Yeah.
And it's being exacerbated by the fact that neither one has bothered to talk to the other until the principal's office.
That is true.
But you know it's been going on that long because Roxanne's friend, the student council president,
Mm-hmm.
when they walk past her, she just says, go on and talk to him. I know you want to.
Yeah. Good point.
Yes. So yeah, that's my second like is Roxanne.
Okay.
They did her character so well.
Agreed. That was such a very refreshing character. It's not like you said, the fact that like with most female love interests, it's they don't even pay attention to the main guy until he does something his coolest moment shows up.
Yeah.
Think Grease or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But oh, she's head over heels because he's cool now. It's like, no, Roxanne likes Max because he's a goof.
Yeah.
That's why. So my number 2 is actually the relationship between father and son, between Max and Goof.
Because this is my third.
Okay. The fact to be like you have that Goof is so concerned about Max's future.
Yeah. Like any father would be.
Yeah, exactly. And being a Goofy style, oh, we're gonna go on a road trip, son.
Well, I mean, how many times have your father's gotten you off on to go doing something that he enjoys doing because he thinks you'll enjoy it too because he enjoys it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it barely ever works.
Yeah, sometimes.
At the same time, if you're sensitive to what's actually going on, you can kind of, get into it.
Yeah, unlike Max.
Unlike Max, who is just so concerned with being, cool, and I've got to somehow get to California and get on stage for 5 seconds
to impress this girl.
And of course, you really think about it, that plan is very stupid. It is very stupid.
It's so incredibly stupid.
Because if under normal circumstances, that wasn't the climax of the movie.
Yeah.
If he'd have gotten there, he may have gotten on screen for 5 seconds, but the bouncer would have come in right behind him and grabbed him off stage.
Yeah.
And they might have thought, oh, you were so cool, you're on stage. Oh, you lied to me because your dad doesn't know Powerline. Mm-hmm. You weren't on stage with him. Powerline doesn't even know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why, even though technically Max could have gotten away with it scot-free,
yeah,
kind of glad he goes ahead and fesses up.
Yeah. He's the bigger dog for it.
Yes.
All right, so that is my number 3. It's the dynamic between them. And
your number 2?
My number 2, I apologize. The fact of like you have this almost boiling tension,
mm-hmm.
and then you get the floating car scene.
Yes,
which is absolutely incredible. These 2 characters who have been butting heads the entire time, and Goofy wanting to trust his son. I'll get into that one, and I'll get to that in my third.
Mm-hmm.
But the 2 of them reconciling on top of that sunken car.
Yes.
Was such a touching moment where they're just like, okay, we're different, but we're the same. I'm still gonna love you no matter what.
Yeah.
And this be like, you're my dad, you're my son, and we're just be like, we're gonna be best pals no matter what.
Yeah.
So that is my number 2, the relationship between Goofy and Max.
My number 3 is similar, but I'm going to approach it from a slightly different angle.
Okay.
My number 3 is the red light.
The red light. Okay.
Twice in this movie, each of our characters in this movie have a moment where they're essentially in the car by themselves. Max, technically, Goofy's asleep next to him.
Yeah.
But they're in there and they are trying to figure out how they're going to move on. And the glove box opens.
Oh, yeah.
For some reason, there's a red light bulb in the glove box.
Yeah.
And the map comes out.
It's ominous.
And it's like, I know the red light there is for style, but it's done so stinking well.
Oh, it is.
And of course, Max has this ridiculous harebrained scheme that he's going to somehow trick his dad into going to California. It's just also ridiculous.
Yeah.
Max's plans are a little ridiculous, but in the moment, you don't notice it.
Yeah.
But the fact is, you see him do all that. It's like, is he going to get away with it before his dad wakes up? He gets it back in the glove compartment. Goofy kind of sort of wakes up, and he has one of my favorite lines in the movie. How many cups of sugar does it take to get to the moon? 3.5.
That was great. That was so good.
But then you get to the more ominous one.
Yeah.
At the motel, after Pete has told Goofy that his son has betrayed him,
Yes.
essentially, and is tricking him. And he goes and sits in the car and he's like, do I trust my son or do I not?
Yes.
And the glove box opens of its own accord.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know if we don't actually see Goofy look at the map.
No, he's almost tempted. Not he's very tempted to.
Right. We don't. The scene shifts to the crossroads right after that.
Mhm.
Right after that thing opens. So it's like, did he look or did he not look?
Yeah.
We don't know. All we know is his fears are confirmed in the next scene when Goofy tells him pick a direction or left or right. When it's very obvious that to get to Idaho, you take a right.
Mm-hmm.
And Max says, go left.
Yeah.
And that leads to that reconciliation.
Yes, it does.
After a short fight.
Yes. Very much so.
But yeah, the way they handle both of these characters essentially betraying the other in their darkest moments.
Oh, yeah.
Is what, and really, if you really want to think about it, this is where the axe changes are.
Oh, yeah.
Between everything. Although there's not that much between Max and Goofy's thing. But anyway, the red lights, obviously sin.
Yeah.
Betraying your friend.
Yeah.
I love how they handle that with the red light.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, the work of the devil is what, or the
temptation of
the
sin.
temptation of sin, we'll say, is what caused that to open.
Yeah.
Yeah. The red light is my number 3.
That's a good analogy. Very, very good. So mine kind of ties in with the back end of what you said was the point of no return, the crossroad section, where, like you just said a minute ago, that Goofy asked Max, okay, which way do we go? Which way do we go? And Max is so he doesn't want to he has his own motivation. He doesn't want to disappoint his father, and it's Goofy trusting Max to an extent.
Well, what we see up to this point, sorry to butt in.
Go ahead.
But while at the beginning of the trip, Max was completely against what Goofy was wanting to do.
Yeah.
By the time you actually get to the crossroads, they've had such a good time together.
Absolutely.
That's like, oh crud, this decision has been coming. I do have to actually, do I disappoint Roxanne and show the lie, or do I disappoint my father?
Yeah.
And I will say, when you're on a road and you're coming up on a crossroads and you do have to make that left or right turn, and you're not sure what the right answer is,
oh yeah,
it does feel like that.
It does.
It feels like that a lot. And I have gotten to that point where it's like, did I hit the center post or did I not?
Yeah. just
I
like
did not.
Yeah, just like in this movie, it's more Max's his confliction behind it.
Oh yeah.
And his ultimate desire is to impress Roxanne. And so he chooses to go to California. And that scene where they turn to go to California, and then it's just,
and then you see Goofy's face, and that's the thing, you don't see Goofy mad that often.
No, you don't, but
not
that scene,
not in a way that's not comedic.
Yeah.
This is I know what's about to happen, and it's not good for anybody.
Exactly.
Good night. It's a similar thought I have when I watched Muppet Christmas Carol, and you get that scene with Kermit broken.
Oh yeah,
because that's not something you see. That's something they would stay away from.
Yes,
that's the kind of thing you expect them to stay away. The Goofy actually being angry at his son is something you would expect Disney to stay away from.
Yeah, but they didn't.
They go right there, and you're just waiting. And you feel the tension.
Oh,
this cartoon movie about two anthropomorphic dogs that just a couple scenes earlier dealt with animatronics malfunctioning and a dead zombie man singing about how I'll never be on the open road again is now having a scene where it's like, oh, I want to get out of this car.
exactly.
because this is not going to turn out good.
Yeah, because I think we both can relate because there again we're both have
We've
fathers.
made this mistake before.
Oh yeah, we've all kind of disappointed
We
our
know-
father, and
yeah.
you know we've seen that side where it's oh crap, I'm dead
I am.
kind of scene.
I might as well be going to jail with that other guy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, can I get in the hearse already?
Yeah.
So that scene in itself, the follow up scene where it's they pull up the car and he is furious,
Yes.
and Goofy doesn't know what to say,
Mhm.
but he's just more disappointed and he's very angry.
Yeah.
and then you get
then the
hilarity
car goes
ensues.
off.
The car goes off the cliff, but there's a thing about that car. But either way, that is my number 3.
All right, then we should jump into our dislikes.
Yes.
My first dislike. This movie is too short.
Okay.
I mean, part of it is in the montage. I want more of this. I mean, we only get to see one. Really, we only get to spend time with the two at really one of their side trips.
Yeah.
We get a montage of all the other ones, but it's like I want to spend some more time with this. I want to spend some time with these two having fun.
Yeah.
We don't really ever get to spend time with them
No.
having fun, which
No.
is disappointing.
Agreed.
I wish we'd have gotten some of that, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's my number one.
Okay. My number 1, the third act, I'm going to say it here, the
Mhm.
third act in this movie is so choppy.
Yeah, the conclusion of this movie, it's like, oh well, and after they fall off the waterfall,
Yeah. After the
from that point, it's like, and we got to rush through these last couple scenes because we're running low on budget.
Yeah.
We've got to finish the movie.
Yeah. There's so much of
We got that last music video to put on screen. So let's do it.
So let's cut from how did Max and Goof get into the suitcases? How did they obviously we know how they got on stage, but
How did they get in the suitcases? There's a missing scene in there.
there's missing scenes, there's how is the car still running?
Yeah. How did they get the car?
How did they get
Because
the car?
last we saw of the car, it went over the waterfall. How did they get it back?
Yeah, exactly. There's so many open questions about like how they did this and how they did that.
Mhm.
They're again cartoon logic, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it's
Like,
like
been nice if they showed it.
Yeah, but they're on time restraint and
That's my guess.
on a budget. But yeah, just the third act of this movie, even though there's a lot of really good points in the third act,
Mhm. It just
it feels
concludes
rushed.
quickly.
Yes.
I mean, literally, the waterfall is 10 minutes before the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And there should be at least another 30 minutes of that movie after that point.
Exactly. So what is your number 1?
My number 2 dislike
Yes.
is Pauly Shore.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of Pauly Shore. I don't really like his character in
Mhm.
this movie.
No, I didn't like him either.
When I was a kid, I kind of thought, oh, this guy's funny. But I was never thinking, who is this guy?
Mhm.
He wasn't on Goof Troop.
Hmm.
And they're acting like I should know this guy. I mean, at least Roxanne, you get this nice big introduction to.
Yeah.
But this guy, I don't know who he is. I can tell he sounds like that weirdo I hear in movies. And he's high in a kid's movie because
high
he's
on
Pauly
cheese.
Shore.
He's high on cheese.
Yeah. What's in that cheese?
Mhm.
That's the question. But you could definitely tell he's got the munchies. He is, though, the only person I've ever heard ask, hey, why are we all wearing these gloves?
Yeah, that is true. That is
So yeah,
true.
Pauly Shore, my least favorite character in the movie, Bobby, is my number 2 dislike. What's your number 2 dislike?
All right, my number 2 dislike is okay. So Goof and Max crash the concert. They get to dance with what's the character's name again?
Powerline.
Powerline.
Stupid character name for a pop singer,
Well,
but
it's the 90s. What do you expect? And then the next scene, they're driving up to Roxanne's house.
Mhm.
Why aren't these two spending a night in the Slammer in LA?
yeah, there's
That's-
cartoon logic.
Yeah,
but
cartoon logic, but still.
also, I'm thinking of another road trip movie
Yeah,
that took place this one from Chicago to California,
yeah,
being Vacation, where they break into not Disneyland, we'll say,
yeah.
because it's obviously supposed to be Disneyland. The guy who runs it looks a lot like Walt Disney. It's just filmed at Six Flags Magic. What's now Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Yeah.
But they at least got arrested by the cops for a couple minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Goofy and Max face no consequences.
Yeah,
apparently they did that good in the show that Powerline says, dude, just all right, or whatever. That was a horrible impersonation.
Yeah.
But then we never heard the guy talk without singing. So
Yeah,
who knows?
Just like there's these unanswered questions of like maybe Powerline's like, hey dude, you're totally fine. More of a
Did teach him a new dance move.
Yeah, teach him a new dance move, what have you. But there's no consequences of what they did. They broke into a concert. So we're not given any real, except they drive up to Roxanne's house back in wherever they're from.
You can kind of tell when you look at the map, it is New England, somewhere in there.
Okay.
But they went to Florida first because that's where Lester's Possum Park was.
That is true. That is still hilarious.
Yes. Yeah. It's in Florida.
Yeah.
Kind of near Orlando.
Wow. You're right. Wow. That is.
I'm telling you, they were making fun of themselves in that scene. Anyway.
I hate that possum.
Anyway, my third dislike. What is my third dislike? There is no villain in this movie.
No, there isn't.
At one point, that's fine, but at the same time, Pete tries to be the villain.
Yeah.
But he really isn't the villain.
No, he's not.
He's an annoyance. He aggravates.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I'm not saying the movie needed a villain.
No.
But I'm just saying, I know Goofy's not the most intelligent character out of that the Walt Disney Corporation has ever made. But if he'd stop and think about it, it's like it's very obvious that Principal Mazer is overreacting.
Oh yeah, but it's Goofy.
And if he would have just gone and talked, and if Goofy had gone and talked to his son to begin with, we wouldn't have a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, I'm sitting there going, all of this comes down to miscommunication and people not talking to one another.
Exactly.
That is so easy to fix if people just would talk to each other.
But
I mean, look how fast Goofy and Max made up when they talked to each other.
Yeah.
And look how unaffected Max and Roxanne's relationship was when they talked to each other and came honest with each other. They're still, their relationship is now stronger than it was before this.
Honesty is the best policy.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing what happens when you communicate.
Exactly.
And and that's the problem. Main problem I have with this movie is it comes down to nobody's communicating.
Exactly.
That annoys me above everything else. It comes down to nobody's communicating. It's just so tropey.
Agreed.
And I wish we could stay away from it, but we can't apparently. So yeah, that's my third dislike.
Okay.
What's yours?
My third dislike would be the transfer on this movie to Blu-ray. Oh my gosh. Don't get me wrong, the picture's fine.
I'd say for the most part it is fine. It's just you can tell they did not do any cleanup.
No, what they needed to restore this film.
Yeah, it needs a restoration. It really does.
The color is so they need to sharpen everything up in this film. So there again, Disney Movie Club did what they did with the film. I'm grateful they released it for we can actually, get a Blu-ray copy of it. But couldn't you have cleaned it up a little bit? Maybe put some extra features on it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's more a complaint about the
special features aside, because I would pay dearly to listen to a commentary on this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention any other special features they can wrestle up. It would be nice if we got a more cleaned up version, but there is a part of me that kind of likes the organic feel of this transfer.
Okay.
Where you can still see the film grain back there.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not, the thing is, the film grain in this is not bad. Okay. I've seen bad.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, the first time I plugged this in, I thought, "Oh, don't tell me this is an upscale of the VHS," because that's kind of what it looked like at first.
Yeah, it's the DVD.
When I first plugged it in, or upscale the DVD. But the more I watched it, no, the transfer is good. It's just they just took it straight from the film. They did not clean it up any. It would be nice if they cleaned it up, but I don't know if it needs cleanup. That's just it's subjective.
I got you.
It's subjective. But special features, yes, I want special features. I have never been more disappointed with a purchase of a Blu-ray when I got this one in, and the only menu options were play movie, scene selection. I don't even get subtitles.
Yeah.
I watch movies with subtitles on, whether it's English, Japanese, whatever. And then you don't even get subtitles with this. It's like, what if somebody who normally speaks Spanish wants to watch this movie? You just left them out in the cold.
You did.
Because they didn't watch this right now. You didn't even give them Spanish subtitles.
Yeah.
You gave them nothing.
Yeah. And
what's annoying.
What's weird is
why they need to do a full release of this on Blu-ray, give it the full Disney treatment.
Agreed. Also, the original DVD, when it was originally released on DVD, had extras, and it had subtitles and everything to it.
Yes.
They didn't transfer any of it.
No, they just put the film on Blu-ray and said, here you go.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Thank
great,
you, by the way.
It's great to have the movie. Don't get me wrong. I don't care what you do with an extremely goofy movie, because I hate that one.
Okay.
But this one, I want special features. Please, Disney, be nice. I will buy this movie again. Give me a 4K Blu-ray release now.
Would be nice, please.
Yes. Anyway,
either way,
that brings us to our ratings, I believe. This is a 9.5 for me.
Okay.
I had a hard time coming up with dislikes.
Okay.
But I do feel like it's like you say, it's rushed at the end of this movie.
It is.
The middle is a little rushed too. The only place where I think the pacing is perfect is at the beginning of the movie.
Agreed.
And even then, in that one song, and the reason the pacing is so good is because there's more songs in the beginning than there is at the end.
Exactly.
Strangely enough.
Uh-huh.
And so it works a little better, but the pacing is my biggest issue with this, and but it's not enough of it to make me not like this movie, so really affect my viewing of the movie. So I'm just dropping it down a peg. A peg is like, I might forgive it once you give me the 4K Blu-ray release. We'll see.
Please, Disney.
Please. Okay.
All right. Originally I was going to give it an 8.5, but more like talking about it, really enjoying it, it's a 9. It's a 9.0. It's an amazing film that has just a lot of heart, a lot of soul, great animation. It's just it's a slap transfer from a DVD to a Blu-ray upscaled, and virtually nothing behind it. And I wanted so much for Heart Hearts to actually have this. If they do upgrade it to a 4K and give us a bunch of features on this film, which I think they should.
Yes.
I would be deeply thankful for Disney if they ever do that. But other than that, it's an amazing film, and I really enjoy it. And I'll probably wind up buying this film.
Well, you have a way of getting it right now.
Yeah.
Because you're still on Disney Movie Club.
Exactly.
I no longer am.
Okay.
So, yeah, that brings us to the end of the episode. So join us next time for, what is it called? Aladdin, The Return of Jafar.
Yeah, Return of Jafar.
Return of Jafar. That's the name of the movie. So join us then. And we're out. Okay. I just got to save this, and then we have got to cut out because I think Francisco is waiting for us.
All right. What did Francisco say?
He said, nope, it comes down to disobedient children. That's one of his little pet peeves.
Oh, okay.
Is anytime a child disobeys their parent, it rubs him completely the wrong way.
I got you.
Fully understand.
Yeah. Totally
doesn't
understand.
affect me in this movie.
Exactly. Yeah. Hi, Francisco.
All right.
All right, so I'm gonna run over to my apartment
Okay.
and go grab my headphones because I forgot them.
Oh, good job. Okay.
Let me step over.
Yes, please. I am saved, so you're good, but I have not ended the broadcast yet. Okay. I am going to go ahead and cut us out, guys. I will see y'all later.